This passage right here, I think, is just such a great, great preliminary leading to Christmas, to what Christmas really is. And this is what Zechariah says about Jesus. He says this in Luke 1, verse 78. He says, "Because of God's tender mercy, the morning light from heaven is about to break upon us, to give light to those who sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, and to guide us to the path of peace." And I love what Jay just said about how where there's light, that it just spreads, that it literally consumes, and especially that we can be a part of spreading that light, that we can reflect God's glory here on earth. Okay, how we ended up at the barn is I was vacuuming this summer and just jamming out to some worship tunes, and thinking about how last year, how God blessed our Bible study, and how it went from a small coffee shop to my apartment, and how it just grew. And I was like, it would be awesome to meet in a barn and just have a completely different feel than anything.
Last summer, Ryan Carlson, he called me on the phone. He said, "Reed, I have an idea of a barn." It's kind of in my head, and I was like, you know, that's sweet. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but you know. And then Ryan came back here to Grand Valley and went out. About 20 minutes later, had a barn, and here we are. So it's pretty cool. God really blessed us with it.
One weekend, I just prayed really quick, hopped in the car with another kid, and we went out barn shopping, except we had no cash, of course. We were shopping, I guess, on God's credit card. I like to joke around, and he's got a pretty good-sized credit card. So we stopped at one house, like way out in the boonies, sticks and stones. We probably couldn't be here tonight on a snowy night like tonight. And she's like, "No, you know, this barn, my barn's really small, messed up, but why don't you go check out that way?" So we headed this way, and we're like, man, we're really close to school. I don't think this is gonna work out. And we kind of, as a last glance on our way back to school, saw this barn. And I was like, should we do it or should we not? So we turned back around and came here, and we met Tony, who owns the barn, and said, "Hey, look, we're just looking to seek God's will and get some leaders together and pray. Could we use your barn?" And of course, he asked me if I was born again, and said, "Sure, you know, me and my wife would pray about it," and here we are today. So.
One way is just developing relationships where it's not just gathering together and having a good time, it's growing with them to Him, and it's just incredible. And you know, everyone's here when we need them. So if one of us is going through a valley, then someone else is on the top of the hill, and He has so provided that for us, and it's been amazing. And I've had to go through a recent valley myself, and the whole entire time He had this here for me. Perfect timing, of course. So He just I don't know, glory be to him, because he has it all worked out and he's good in it and he's doing some amazing things here.
I'm a completely new person. Like, people back home don't even recognize my personality anymore. I went back home to one of my churches, and one of the pastors came up and was like, you know, over this past month, I've really seen you mature as like a man, both spiritually, emotionally. Physically, I've always been ahead of the curve on that. But emotionally and physically, I've just been happier. Like, for no reason, I'll just be walking and I'll catch myself smiling. It's like, that's not me at all. I'm the one that harbors inner hatred all the time, and it's almost gone. And like, before I got here, I was addicted to pornography, like, really badly, and almost as soon as I started coming, it just stopped. Just the power of God just swept right through me.
It's just really brought my relationship with God to the forefront in a lot of ways, because, you know, every week we're out here and it's an awesome time, and we learn something new every week.
You are my strong tower.